So yesterday update, I told you guys that 26 countries are currently preparing to send their troops to Ukraine. Vladimir Putin replied them. Vladimir Putin told them that any attempt to send NATO troops to Ukraine to fight Russian troops, the Russians will respond. By the way, Putin has already started. So there is this training facility in Ukraine where Europeans are training Ukrainian troops. Vladimir Putin decided to target this training center and destroyed it completely. Check it out. I hope this message is clear enough for Europeans to understand. I have said it repeatedly that it doesn't matter the number of soldiers the Europeans send to the front lines, they are not going to win. These guys, from day one, they have attempted to destroy the Russians, but whenever they try, they fail. They supported Napoleon. In fact, the whole of Western Europe came together and supported Napoleon to destroy Russia. But the Russians defeated Napoleon together with the West. And I still don't understand why these guys don't get the message that these guys, the only work they do is to fight wars. You see, when the war began, some people were like, oh, Russia is over, Russia is over. Oh, the Ukrainians are fighting. They will defeat Putin. They will defeat Russia. Some of us told you that, look, it's just a matter of time. To defeat the Russians is impossible. That is who they are. If they are fighting for their survival, you can't defeat them. But if you are fighting over some small piece of land, maybe you will win. Just like how the Japanese defeated them. You know, these were not major wars. But when it comes to major wars, these guys, hey, by the way, I think they know better than I do. Europe is no more influential. Nobody respects Europe. I'm not the one saying, German Vice Chancellor is saying. Europe is currently unable to play the role in world affairs that it would like to. Meaning, their influence is no more. Back in the days, Europeans used to control the world. Back in the days when the Europeans say everybody should sleep, everybody will sleep. But it is a new day. Today, a lot of countries are turning to the global south. China, Brazil, Russia are becoming more influential. And I think the Europeans destroyed themselves. Nobody destroyed them. One, they over-relied on America. Two, when the Europeans were influential, they didn't use their influence in a positive way. It was all about invading other countries, colonizing other countries. Even after they claimed they gave all these countries so-called independence, they refused to leave. They were still controlling their leaders, coup d'etats. Take a continent like Africa, for example. 54 countries on this continent. So are you trying to tell me that out of the 54 countries, out of the 54 leaders on this continent, 54 presidents, none of them want their country to develop? No, think about this critically. The fact is the downfall of Africa, Europeans has played a key role in the downfall of Africa. Not just Africa, the whole global south. And that is why today the Europeans are no more influential. By the way, today news, all the news is earth-shattering. By the way, you know how we do it. So I'm going to give you guys most of the update happening around the globe. Let's get started. India officially rejected Trump's demand to stop purchasing Russian oil, according to Bloomberg. So this is not coming from a Russian source or a Chinese source. No, this is coming from their own source. So according to Bloomberg, the Indians say no to Trump. I gave you guys historical ties between the Indians and the Russians. And the main reason why the Indians will never trust the West. There is, there is some historical ties between the Indians and the Russians. right? The West has disappointed the Indians many times. So the Indians don't trust the West. And another reason is the Indians want to play this whole geopolitical game the way they want it. They don't want to be taking orders from the West or East. No. So if you observe BRICS very well, many people claim that the Indians can be trusted. I don't think so. The Indians just want to play the game how they want it to be played. They don't want to take anti-American stance, or they don't want to take anti-Russian stance. They want to be in the middle. They want to trade with both the East and West. I hope you understand. Today, in fact, I'm not feeling well, but I'm committed to this, and I'm doing all my best to give you guys the update. The only thing that motivates me to do these videos is when I see the platform growing. So please subscribe to the channel, and if you are watching this video, hit on that like button. It's very, very important to me. So according to CNN, both Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are blaming the Europeans. So according to CNN, both Trump and Vladimir Putin believe that this war would have ended long time if not for the Europeans. And I kind of agree with them. It is a fact that currently, the only people who are holding this war is the Europeans. These guys continue to take anti-Russian stance, knowing very well that they can't defeat the Russians, knowing very well that they are fighting a lost battle. Donald Trump has said it multiple times that he is operating on the basis of common sense. And that is one thing the Europeans refuse to understand. The Europeans refuse to understand that this war is over. They cannot win against the Russians. The Europeans are willing to sacrifice their own economies just to see Russia fall. And that is not happening. And that won't happen. Anybody who studies geopolitics very well will tell you that this war is over. It is a fact. Economists are telling the West that you are destroying your economy. They said, oh, yes, we know that our economies are getting destroyed, but we will still continue to give the Ukrainians whatever they want, knowing very well that they are not going to win. So I still don't get the logic behind what the Europeans are doing. I still just don't understand. I don't get it. These Europeans are just funny. EU will welcome US backing to quit Russian oil, energy chief says. So according to the Europeans, they will support America to ban the Russians from selling energy to Europe completely. Who is struggling here? Who is begging who to buy? I mean, I don't get it. I've told you guys multiple times that the Europeans still buy oil from the Russians. These guys only come out and talk, but behind closed doors, they are still buying oil from Russia. They have reduced what they buy from the Russians, but not completely. Up to some certain amount, they still buy from the Russians, right? Even how they even buy some of this oil is funny. You see, sometimes they buy some of this oil from India. And where does India get their oil from? From the Russians. So the whole thing just goes this way and come back to them again. And they are buying it at a higher price. These guys are just not serious. Your opinion is very, very important. Let me know what you think about whatever is happening around the world today in the comment section. Shalom. See you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching.